It's time to build my first cigar box guitar. We're getting started right now. Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done anything but cigar box guitar. Time to build my first one. Got a cigar box, Mark Twain memoir. Comes like this. It's already kind of like antique looking. Good cigar, by the way. CB Giddy neck. This is a maple neck. About 18 bucks. These are cut, measured to work in a 25.5-inch scale. So what I have to do is figure out where I'm going to put this. It's actually going to go through the body, and have to figure out where I'm going to put the bridge, which is going to be this guy. This is going to be a 3-string. So it's not, it's through the back. It's not going to be a string through. Have a nice rosewood pre-made fretboard. Got this from wish.com. I don't know, they're about 8 bucks. Actually, I bought a bunch of this stuff. I have a bunch of cigar boxes. I got 3 necks. I got the maple, I have a cherry, and I have a walnut neck. And I have other cigar boxes that are going to match up with. So I bought a few of these. This guy's going to get mounted on here. We're going to put this nice bone nut on here. You can get these on eBay, Wish. If you get things from wish.com, you have to wait a while for them. They come from China. Sometimes the things on eBay do too, but I got a 2-pack of these. I forget how much it was. They're cheap. It's cow bone. It's real bone. So this is going to get in there. I'm going to file it, file the grooves in. Luckily, it's only 3 grooves, not 6, because I've never actually made my own nut before. So there's going to be a lot of firsts here. Fretboard's going to get glued on to here, and we're going to have to take a piece of this off of the end, glue it back on here, so we have a butt piece to go up when we go through the body. So the piece to butt up against here. And I've never done any of this before. Okay, so this is going to require some of my lame woodworking skills, some of my bad measuring skills, and a lot of my just jump in and do it good luck. So first thing we want to do is, actually there's a lot of first things I want to do, but first thing I want to do is get this fretboard glued to the neck, because I can't really shape the neck or do anything else until this is on here. So I need to find out where exactly this is going to go, which is going to be right at this. See, these are cool because they're already angled. You don't have to compensate with string trees or anything. At least I shouldn't. I don't know. It's a 3-string. It's going to be mostly for slide play. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But going to make my mark for where I'm going to put the nut, and then we'll put this right up against that, glue it on. Then the other thing we have to do is measure for the scale to where on here I'm going to put this bridge. Now, being that this is a cigar box, it is a box. So I'm going to have to cut a piece in here, out of here, for the neck to go into. Then we're going to have to put some braces in here to brace that neck. We're also going to have enough clearance so when I put a pickup on, there's clearance cut in the neck. So there's going to be a lot of cutting and chiseling and things like that involved. A lot of blocks in here to shore things up. It's going to be an adventure, but let's get started on measuring this, marking the lines for the bone nut, and get this fretboard glued on here. Okay, so right here at this break angle, this breaks, I'm going to have the nut right up against that line, but it's really hard to see. So I'm going to take my square and just make a mark right where that line is, more or less, right there. So that's where the nut's going to go, right there. Now, what I'm going to do is hold this, and I'm going to make a mark down this side. So, I don't know if you can see that or not. I have two lines there, and my nut is going to sit in there, and I'm going to have to carve a little groove out of here. But I'm going to wait to do that till I have this till I have the fretboard glued on, because once this is glued on here, I'll have a nice flat right angle edge to run my saw against when I cut that first groove out of there. I just noticed this is a little bit rough, a little bit in there, so I'm going to take a little sandpaper. I have some sandpaper double-sided taped to this. This is a fret sanding block. Just gonna try to get that a little smoother. So I have a nice smooth edge there. Same on the other end. Okay, that's good. Okay, I just have to glue this guy on here, and for that I'm going to use tight bond, and I have a couple of clamps here. Actually, I have these, and I have a couple. I have this guy here, this big ugly thing too. But to protect the fretboard, I'm going to use these pieces of scrap, put them down on top when I put the clamps on, so that I'm not going to mar up this fretboard if I can help it. So everything seems like it lines up pretty good. That's the thing about something like this. Other than this, which is very nicely made, precision cut neck. This is fairly precision cut, but when it comes to everything else, cigar box, it's not going to be perfect. So there are going to be some parts that might not match up absolutely flush or level or square or whatever, but we'll just deal with that as we go along. But I think this is going to glue on here quite nicely. I'm just going to take some tight bond. And I guess I'll put it on here. Now, I've watched a lot of videos on building cigar box guitars. Okay. Some good, some not so good. So I'm just going to try to take the best I've picked up from the best videos and try to use some of those techniques and try to get this to come out as nice as I can. I don't expect it to be perfect. You know, another thing is this bridge I'm using. I'm used to working with these things from putting guitars together, but sometimes some of these guys use like hinges, make a bridge out of a hinge, and then they'll put a sliding, it's actually not the bridge, they'll make the hinge to be an anchor for the strings, and then put a sliding bridge like on an acoustic guitar. To do the intonation. Kind of a good idea. Okay, to make sure I have this on the right way so that make sure I don't have the wrong frets, the wrong end. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, and put this guy right in the middle. So that's the thing, as soon as you put a clamp on glued wood, it will move. So you have to be ready to, see, this already slid down this way and it's sliding all over the place. So I need to make sure I'm up against that line. That's pretty good. Once again, see, so I put that clamp on, it threw the whole thing off. I guess that's why these guys, I see these guys use like 50 clamps on everything. I don't have 50 clamps. All right. To go up a little bit this way. This glue is actually starting to set already, so gotta move quick here. That's better. Here we go. A little wet. Cloth here. This excess glue off. Well, this is all going to be sanded, of course, but still. It's always good to wipe your excess glue off. As much as you can. This side's a little easier. Sloppy, messy. I don't like messy. Watch any of my other videos, you'll know I don't like messy. So oh, that was great. That was good. Yeah, just dump a half gallon of water all over your amp. That's good. Way to go. Well, at least it's nice to say that the video's starting off the way my projects normally do, with a mess. I'd like to have a clamp up here. I have these little ones, but I don't think they're going to be big enough. Nope, not going to be big enough. All right, so maybe what I'm going to do is reposition this guy a little bit so that, let's do it like this. This up here. Okay, this guy in the middle. There we go. Now I feel a little bit better about that. All right, here we go. Now, once this is dry, then we'll be able to handle it a little better, and then I can measure the scale length, which I was playing around with this before, and I actually had a mark on here somewhere. for where this bridge was going to go. Right there I have a center. I marked the center. See, that's the other thing you need to do. You need to get the center from here to here. That's where I have a mark right there. And I also have the line drawn down here for the center. But I know that center lines up perfectly with this center screw on there. And I think I was using this line right here. There's a little line. It's kind of right along the edge of where this inside of this box lid goes. But I'll do this all again so you can see how I did it, but that's pretty much where it's going to be. And then we'll have to reinforce this bottom part. So when I put these in, this is very thin, maybe 1/8 of an inch cedar. So I'm going to have to put some, you know, like some blocks. I have some other cedar. I don't know, maybe some piece of cedar here or something for the screws to go in. But so we're going to have to block there. We're going to shore up these corners. We'll have to block up where the neck actually comes through the body and decide where that ends. So that's some of the other things that are coming up. I could probably do some of that in this video, but I don't have the pieces cut yet. I still have some glue squeezing out of this bad boy. So, like I said, this is all going to get sanded, so it's really not going to matter. The less sanding you have to do, the better. All right, here we go. Okay, so that's that. We're going to, yeah, you see what happened here? While I'm talking and moving all this stuff around, this thing already shifted again. I don't even know if I can fix it. This time it's set. But it already shifted. I'm going to put the glue on. It still looks fairly square. But it shifted down about 1/16 of an inch from that line. And that's not going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference. I'll put that nut on there. Actually, it'd be probably better that I have a little more space here before this drops off, so I have a nice clean groove and this doesn't have the tendency to want to flip forward. So it's probably a good thing. Seems like it's still square. Gonna have to do some, definitely gonna have to do some heavy duty sanding here, because this comes out about 1/16 to 1/32 all the way down this length, and this is going to be on the top part. This bottom part is not quite flush. About I don't know, maybe 1/64 of an inch. So we have a little room to play with when we sand this. A little more to play with on this side. But there we go, that's step one. So let me put this clamp back on here. And let this dry. next video, we will measure the scale for this, and we will also measure where we're going to cut where we're going to have the neck actually come to an end and cut that piece off. Then we'll take that piece, glue it onto here, so when this butts up against the body of the guitar, you can't see that, when this butts up against the body of the guitar, it'll actually have a little bit of a extra support piece here, like on a regular guitar neck, like on here. This little slope, that's what we're going to glue that other piece on to get that extra support. So this is a short, sweet video, but I don't know how sweet it was, but it was short. Now I have to dry my amp off. So thanks for tuning in, and tune in for part 2. We'll do some more work with this neck and do some measuring, and maybe we'll have some of those supports for the inside of the box. Maybe we'll have maybe we'll put some of the support pieces in here and have some other things ready to go. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for coming back. Cigar box number 1 is on the way.